Salutations, my Algebra 2 students. Welcome back once again. Today we're doing section 1.5, which is solving inequalities. And inequalities are the less than and greater than symbols. So if we have x is greater than 4, that is the greater than symbol. And if you are asked to graph, all I ask is you put 0 on there. You want to open circle because there's no equal sign, and then you shade it to the right. If I had greater than or equal to 4, the only difference is that you darken that circle, fill it in, because that means 4 is included in the answer set. Then the symbol for less than is actually kind of looks like the letter L for less than. And of course, it's same deal here. We've got 4, open circle, shade to the left. And if it's less than or equal to, the only difference, once again, is filling in that circle and then shade to the left. Okay, so that's pretty standard. Most of you should know that. The next part, if I give you a sentence, 5 fewer than a number is at least 12, you have to decide, is that greater than or is it less than? So 5 fewer than a number. So if I have n as my number, 5 fewer than that is at least 12. That means it could be 13, could be 14. So that means I have to be greater than or equal to 12. At least 12 means I could be 12, 13, 14, 15. So say to yourself, what are the numbers it could be, and then you can decide, well, it's greater than, it's got to be bigger. Okay, so if you see at least, if you see no more than, or at the most, okay, those would be considered less than or equal to. All right, when we did the previous notes, we gave all those properties of equality. And they all work for greater than and less than exactly the same. The only exception to the rule is if you have a negative that you're dividing by or multiplying by. What happens is it switches this thing around. Okay, so if you're multiplying or dividing by a negative, you have to make sure you switch that symbol around. Otherwise it acts just like the equals that we did in the previous notes. All right, let's look at this equation, or inequality, 2x minus 5 plus 1. Okay, we're going to solve this, and I want you to graph the solutions. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 1. So I have negative 3, 2x minus 5, greater than or equal to 3. Then I'm going to distribute, so plus 15. Then I'm going to subtract 15. I'm just thinking ahead here. I could have done something a little simpler, but we'll just keep going with this for a few minutes. So negative 6x greater than or equal to negative 12, and then divide by a negative 6. So that means x is less than or equal to 2. To graph that, 2 is here. It's filled in, and less than or equal to would go this way. If you're not sure if it's less than or greater than, you can try some numbers. Try the number 0 right up here and see if it comes out true. Backing up, I could have, at this step right here, I could have divided by negative 3 on both sides, and I would have had to flip it then. But it comes out the same either way, so whichever way you want to do. All right, let's talk about a little story problem here. Let's say Family Video is running a special And they have two different plans. You can pay $36 a month, and that would be unlimited rentals, or you could pay $15 a month, but then it would be $1.50 per rental. So I want to find out how many movies you can rent for the first one to be the better deal. Okay? I want to know how many movies rented for first to be the better deal. Okay, so let's set up a little equation. So 36 has to compare to $15 a month plus $1.50 per video. So I have to decide, is it greater than or less than that I want to make it? Well, if 36 is going to be the better deal, I want 36 to be less than all of this, the other deal. And I don't want it to be equal to, because I want it to be a better deal. So we solve this the same way we would. Subtract 15. Then I get 21 is less than 1.5 V for videos. Divide by 1.5, and it comes out to be 14. So videos, now I'm going to reverse this, so I have to reverse the sign too. So the videos have to be greater than 14. So I have to rent at least 15 videos to get my money's worth on that first deal. All right, the next section we're going to talk about is always, sometimes, or never. This is the answer I want when we have an equation. Which of these is the right answer? If I have -2, 3x plus 1 greater than -6x plus 7. So let's solve that. First thing I'm going to do is distribute. Okay, then I'm going to add 6x to both sides. So I get -2 is greater than 7. Now when you get to this point, you ask yourself, is that true or not true? Is it always, sometimes, or never true? Well, -2 is never greater than 7. So this is a never answer, meaning this is not true. No matter what I put in for x here and here, it's not going to come out true. It's never going to work. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to go to a new page here, is a compound inequality. Okay, a compound inequality incorporates the words and or. Okay, and they each have a different meaning, and they each have a different graph at the end. So I want to solve 7 is less than 2x less than 2x plus 1, and at the same time I want to know 3x is less than or equal to 18. So what x values will make both of these true at the same time? So let's solve it like normal. I'm going to subtract 1, so I get 6 is less than 2x, x is less than 3. I'm going to switch that around. Oops, I didn't switch that around. X is greater than 3 for that one. Here I'm going to divide by 3, so I get x less than or equal to 6. Now if I'm going to graph that, here's 0, here's 3, and here's 6. So I want to open circle at 3, and I'm going to be shading in this direction. This one I'm going to have a closed circle at 6, and I'm going to shade in that direction. But these, if I take this and go all the way out here, these answers out here are not going to work for that problem. And these answers out here are not going to work for that problem. So no and no. But all these answers in the middle will work for both. So that's where you shade. And again, if you're not sure, pick a number. Pick 4, put it in here and here, and see if it comes out true. If it does, then you know you have to shade there. Okay, now the next one is the OR problem. So I'll have solve 7 plus k is greater than or equals 6, or 8 plus k is less than 3. I want to find the answers for k that work for this or this. It doesn't have to be both. So subtract 7, so k is greater than or equal to -1. Here I'm going to subtract 8, so k is less than -5. So this time, here's 0, here's -1, -5. So this one's solid, and it's going to the right. This one is open, and it's less than, so it's going to the left. So it can be in here or here. It doesn't have to be the same, or it doesn't have to work for both at the same time. So in other words, the and words you're going to shade in between, and the or, it's going to be split, and it's going to shade in both directions. Okay. All right, that is it for now. Ta-ta for now, and we'll see you in class. Bye-bye.